Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here again today, and obviously a very exciting weekend for Citadel football, and what an outstanding atmosphere in Johnson Haygood this past Saturday, and double overtime 63-56 victory over UNC Charlotte, and a game that I think our fans and everyone watching certainly got their entertainment value on Saturday. But very proud of the way our team competed, and I thought offensively we played outstanding all day long, which we could see coming just from the way we practiced last week and the way we've been improving week to week. As Mike said, Aaron was named the SoCon Offensive Player of the Week for his performance. I thought he did a great job leading our offense Saturday, and got great play from Cam Jackson. Not only did Cam have his first 100-yard rushing day of his career, he also was by far our best blocker at the slot back position, which that's something that we put before anything else in our offense. And thought we got great play from our offensive line. A couple of guys that had been asked to step into starting roles are continuing to play better and better each week. Brandon Eakins' first 2 career touchdown catches, including the game winner. And so he had an outstanding day there. So just very pleased with the way we played throughout the day offensively. Obviously, we ran into a pretty explosive offense from UNC Charlotte, and we felt going into the game that we would be challenged by Khalif Phillips and Austin Dukes and quarterback Matt Johnson, and they were every bit as good as we thought they were. And fortunately, our defense bowed up and came up big when it needed to there in the second overtime, being able to get 2 consecutive 4-down stops inside the 10-yard line, including the one to seal the victory with Cody Richardson deflecting Matt Johnson pass in the back of the end zone. So just very pleased with the way our team stuck together. It was a great team victory Saturday, and one that everyone put a lot of effort into and played with a lot of enthusiasm and intensity, and so we're excited about that coming out of the weekend. Preparing for another challenging opponent this weekend in UT Chattanooga. They come into the game 3-3, 2-0 in the SoCon. But you look at their 3 losses. They lost to Central Michigan in the opener of the year when they led 16-0. And really, if they don't turn the ball over in the second half, they probably win that game. They lost to Jacksonville State, the 9th-ranked team in FCS, in overtime at Chattanooga. And then they lost this past weekend to the University of Tennessee, which I think Tennessee's probably about a year away from being back in the mix at the top of the SEC, just judging by their roster and athleticism they had on the field last Saturday. So they lost to 2 or 3 very talented football teams. They've beaten Austin Peay, VMI, and then a very good Sanford team soundly at Chattanooga. So I feel like that, along with the fact you're facing the reigning Offensive Player of the Year in Jacob Huseman, and the reigning 2-time reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Davis Tull. Obviously we're facing some outstanding talent this weekend, so we'll be challenged. But team's excited for this game. I expect us to come out and play with a lot of intensity Saturday, and I think we're poised to be ready to play our best game of the year. So looking forward to Saturday and the 12 o'clock kickoff. So excited about a noontime start, and should be exciting for our fans. But also have with me today senior defensive lineman Cam Mobley, and Cam, I thought, played a really, really good football game on Saturday. Played with a lot of effort, was very active. All throughout the game, made a lot of plays sideline to sideline, and I thought it was a great representation of our guys on the defensive side of the ball to be with us here today. So all that being said, any questions for me or either of the 2 seniors?
Coach, you're kind of at the halfway point of the season. You've got another 4 games left. Can you kind of assess where the team is and your message to them going into the second half of the season?
Well, our only message is, UT Chattanooga. That's kind of where our entire focus is. So we're really not getting beyond that as far as the season goes. As far as looking back at the first half, I think anyone that's watched us sees improvement in varying degrees week to week. At 2-4, we could easily be 4-2, and anybody that's watched us knows that also. So I think, that being said, I think we're a good football team. I think we have a chance each and every week with every team remaining on our schedule to have a chance to win it in the fourth quarter. Should be competitive in every game, so it's should make for a pretty exciting second half of the season.
Coach, I think you're 2-0 when you pass for more than 100 yards, and 0-4 when you don't. Are you kind of feeling your way toward a run-pass balance that you like, or how do you assess that?
I thought in our 2 wins we have had good balance, but again, in those 2 wins we also ran for, well over 300 yards. Saturday running for over 500 yards. So I think they go hand in hand. If you can run the ball effectively, you're probably going to be able to throw the ball effectively. So I do think that we are getting more balanced. I think that we're getting very good play at the wide receiver position. I think the protection has been much, much better the last several weeks. And I think Aaron's doing a good job of delivering the football. So I think there's a lot of factors that go into our offensive production.
If you can just talk about, obviously, just Chattanooga, what they kind of present to you as a challenge.
Well, the challenge, I think, looking at their offense, Huseman is a dual threat quarterback, throws the ball well, runs extremely well. I think their offense coordinator does a very good job with their scheme. It's very challenging. We're going to see a lot of different formations. We're going to see a lot of motion. They have a tailback and a wide receiver that are very explosive, much maybe not exactly like what we just faced, but similar from a standpoint of having 2 threats like that. They have a preseason All-American candidate at tight end that's 2-time first-team selection. So a lot of weapons there on the offensive side of the football. You flip over defensively, and I think it's probably right now the best defensive squad in our league, just the way they're playing. You got the outstanding defensive end there that's, kind of their leader, but I think they're solid at the linebacker position. They have a JUCO transfer at corner that's very athletic, a very good safety that we'll face on Saturday, so just a solid core there. And then statistically, they're the top special teams unit in the conference in virtually every category. The wide receiver, I think, is averaging 20 yards a return or something like that. It's something kind of absurd, but has returned 2 punts for touchdowns already, returned a third that was called back in the Jacksonville State game. So, I just think we're facing a very well-rounded team that's good in all 3 phases.
Mike, your defense has played very well this season up until Saturday, I thought. Do you see any ongoing issues, or is it sort of easy to write that off to Charlotte's speed?
Well, I think you can write it off to, number 1, Charlotte's speed, but number 2, we made some mistakes there Saturday, and I do think that we got with a couple of the big plays they made it early, we got on our heels a little bit, and I don't think we're a very good defensive unit when we play on our heels. I think we've got to be aggressive, and I think that you're looking at the overtime, the second overtime session. To me, it looked like a completely different unit out there all of a sudden, because I think that there's much more aggression back in our guys. But at the end of the day, we've got to play together. Each guy doing their job, each guy trusting each other, and we've got to play with a lot of intensity and a lot of discipline on that side of the ball. And when we do, we're a pretty good unit.
Ken, can you talk about that issue and how Charlotte got you back on your heels and maybe the difference in that second overtime?
Well, we knew they had good athletes. We knew they were going to be explosive coming into the game. It really came down to just us having to play our game the way we like to play, and not trying to feed into what they were trying to make us do. But, like I told our guys 100 times on the field, I wouldn't rather gone out there with anybody else. I'm confident in our defense. Every time we step out there, I know it's a group of guys that's not going to ball up when the pressure comes on. So even when things aren't going our way, I'm confident in our system and our players to make sure we get everything done. So.
Mike, are Victor Hill and Harrison Davis going to be back this week? And when they do return, are they going to have to earn their jobs back, or how's that going to work for those guys?
Well, Harrison is cleared and will practice today, and so he'll be returning this Saturday. Victor, we're hoping to get back. He's going to practice for the most part today and see how he does. And we'll know later on in the week if he'll be a for sure go or not. I think going beyond saying just that, I think is unfair to them and to everybody else, because anytime you've missed multiple weeks of practice and multiple games, obviously you're not going to be on top of your game. Kind of like Dalton. Dalton, had been with us practicing and cleared for a couple of weeks, but really didn't get into the flow of everything until this past week. So we'll see how they do. Every week, everybody knows on our practice field that you're competing, and you see a lot of lineup changes. All over the place with us throughout the first half of the season, because it's not a thing that's just set in stone. If a guy comes out and just dogs it all week, he's not going to play on Saturday. So they've got to come out and they've got to perform each week and prepare themselves to be ready to play on Saturday, because everybody else in that locker room is depending on them.
Do you expect to have Stinson back, Coach?
Hoping so. We're going to see kind of how he's doing today. He's getting better and better each day. He wants to be out there, and really it's going to be kind of just when he feels good running on it. But I wouldn't be shocked to see him out there on Saturday.
Talk about whatever it was, 600, whatever yards it was on Saturday. I guess it's got to make you feel pretty good to lead an offense pretty much at will.
We just had a very set in stone game plan, and we came out and executed to the best of our abilities. Our offensive line gave the extra effort to get to the next level, and our running backs made great plays when running the ball, and receivers stepped up and made some plays in the passing game as well.